Efecto Cascada.
Un podcast de Explore.
So, dear Explorers, welcome to the latest episode of Efecto Cascada, a podcast from Exploro where we dive into the forefront of innovation, share insights from entrepreneurs, and uncover cascade funding opportunities. In each episode, we explore the latest trends in the digital stream, arts, and transformative technologies that are shaping our future. Broadcasting from Pamplona, Spain, we aim to reach a global audience starting from European Union projects. So I'm Paulo Stiz, Communications Manager from Exploro, and it's a pleasure to be your host for today's episode once again. And as you may have seen, we are continuing with our remote, online, and English podcast. But as always, if you want to understand it or listen to it on a different language, you can just always go to YouTube and activate subtitles. All right, so in today's episode, we are very pleased to welcome Sara Brandão, Head of Unit from INOVA Plus and leader in European project management. So Sara brings a wealth of experience focusing in initiatives that drive sustainable growth in Europe's creative industries. In today's episode, we'll dive into LiveMX, a project under Music Moves Europe, which supports music export, live venues, and digital engagement across the continent. As Sara is deeply involved in the project, she will share insights on how LiveMX is addressing challenges in the music sector through mechanisms like cascade funding. And by the way, their Open Call 3 has just launched, so make sure to catch all the details in the episode and apply. All right, so let's get started. So welcome, Sara. Thank you very much for being with us here today. How are you?
I'm fine. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for the invitation. And congrats on the initiative of the series of podcasts, which are really amazing.
Thank you. All right, so could you share a bit about yourself to the audience, perhaps a bit about your background and so on?
Yeah, sure. So in brief, my background is a bit of surprising because I've studied psychology, and from
Wow.
a tender age, I was really it was in my heart the idea of that my future would involve helping individuals, organizations, communities to grow and evolve. And then fate led me to a consultancy, a different path to this journey. And in the beginning, I thought that was just a passage and something would then lead me to return to practice, a clinical practice. But with years passing and I think that I had this growing passion for project management, and I think I found a different way of helping others, and this is what I'm doing currently as the head of unit in INOVA. I had this almost 10 years of experience at this company, and before I was already in the consultancy field in another consultancy company in Portugal.
You said you worked in a consultancy firm. Was it there when you found European Union project management, or how come? Was there a specific momentum that led you onto that?
Not quite, because it was like a process. But in any case, one of these days, my youngest son said, "Mommy, I want to be like you. I want to be a project manager." And I was thinking, 7 years he has. So
Wow.
It's very difficult to explain what a project manager does. And to hear from them, I was surprised on why he would like to be a project manager. And he said, I want to be an inventor. I want to have my ideas transform in something that is more specific, more practical and concrete. And that is it. This is what we do in project management. When I started, I contacted with different programs, not the current formats of Erasmus Horizon and Creative Europe, but the funding programs at that time. So 20 years ago, it was a long time. But it was possible to see that these programs offer a framework of possibilities that you can design in a way that aligns with your ideas, the ideas of other organizations and communities. And then this will lead to a joint effort to a common benefit, let's say. So with this passion and being lucky to have my projects and my ideas and those from my team and colleagues approved, then it's like a spiral of reinforcement that you know that your ideas can really be drafted and crafted to something that is going to be implemented. So when this was the beginning, and I had the opportunity to work with different programs, different organizations, and working with different funding formats, including, for instance, Cascade and creative industries. So this connection between creative industries and Cascade funding was really important when the preparatory action of Music Moves Europe was launched by the Commission, I thought that was a good opportunity to connect everything and say we're prepared to help or to contribute to some of these objectives of the Commission to the growth of the music sector. That was at that time we're talking about 2020. At the heart of the COVID, the music sector was really hit hard, and all this make a lot of sense. And we joined forces with the European Music Council and start preparing the Music Air, which is like the first initiative of a cascade and these kind of instruments for the music sector. And then, of course, this evolved in time, and the new opportunity with LiveMX arose from different and continued call from the Commission.
So could you please describe a bit what's the main objective of this project and how it supports the European music sector?
Yeah, so LiveMX is the continuation of this previous initiatives from Music Moves Europe, and it was issued by the within the Creative Europe program. And the intention is to design a robust supporting mechanism that includes Cascade and other components like capacity building to make a real and concrete answer align with the needs of the European music ecosystem. And these needs are focused on building a sustainable, competitive, innovative, and inclusive music sector. And this is the reason why for this specific project inside the Music Moves Europe initiative, the Commission asked to prioritize 3 topics: music venues, music export, and digital circulation and engagement. While in the past, other initiatives like the Music Air initiative was more focused on sustainability in general. Here, the focus were targeting these 3 specific business development topics and how this funding scheme could support the development within these 3 topics.
All right. And what challenges are you exactly trying to address with this initiative?
Okay, so the challenges, and for this, it's important to emphasize that INOVA is coordinating the project, but in close cooperation with Live DMA and EME, because they represent the live venues and music export dimension. And we have these 2 big dimensions, these 2 big topics emphasized by the project together then with the digital component. So the barriers were from the beginning identified by these networks and big players of the music ecosystem that are very familiar with the specific needs within this specific topic. So we have the international the barriers associated with accessing to international markets, and this is one of the lines of action of the LiveMX projects. So to make sure that we can support initiatives that foster market readiness and to help them with international trade missions, their market research, building their networks and having these capacity building workshops to empower them. Then we have on the side of the live music venues the needs to have this transition as much as possible to towards ecological and social aspects. And here the emphasis is in emphasizing strategies to reduce carbon impact, for instance, and building resilient local audiences, and encourage the inclusive audience.
Could you tell us a bit why is it so unique, this program?
Yeah, the program is unique inside Music Moves You, but it's a learning curve. So it's important to stress that what was learned and from the Music Air project was integrated in this new scheme, with the idea of addressing some minor aspects that were not so well addressed by the Music Air due to some aspects, namely the framework of the call. When the call was issued, it was more focused on having a funding scheme. LiveMX is a bit different because the call of Music Moves Europe called for something that was the scheme and a capacity building program supplementing the scheme. What is the LiveMX looking into? To find a way of supporting these practical and scalable solutions in these three fields. And for that, the Cascade offers lump sum amounts which facilitate and simplify the redistribution of grants to third parties, and different strands or scales, meaning that it's possible to support projects with different ambitions or different scales. With a strand of 60K, 40K, or 20K, you can draft a project that aims to different things inside the three topics. And then what he emphasizes as well is the fact that we're trying to find a way to reach out and encourage participation of applicants from countries where funding opportunities are scarce, or its uptake is narrowed. And so we have created some specific conditions in favor of these less advantaged potential applicants, making sure, for instance, through bonus system that we have in the award criteria, that we can support them to really draft their ideas and not be caught in a way, because they are not so well prepared, they didn't have the possibilities that other had to prepare a good application with the support of consultancy companies and so on, but they are not so well prepared. So we're not saying that they are not ready to be supported because of that. And this creates this opportunity to support let's say, the less advantages.
What kind of profile is eligible? What type of projects are you exactly looking for? Or could you tell the audience a bit?
Yeah, so we're doing the third call, and it has similar features as the previous ones. We start the call was issued in 5th of November, and we'll close in the beginning of the year in January, the 6th. And we target specifically mono-beneficiary projects. So just one applicant that is applying. This doesn't mean that this applicant cannot find a way of partnering with other organizations, but as is requested, solo beneficiaries to be awarded. We are targeting legal entities, meaning public and private organizations that have this legal personality. They need to be established in countries or member states or non-EU that are part of the list of the Creative Europe program, and they need to be established at least 1 year before the application deadline. And what is still necessary is to have a track record in working in these topics. So this is what is required. And then, of course, in terms of the evaluation, we will go through a relevancy screening before moving forward into let's say, official evaluation by external jury members. And they will look into this. This is like mandatory. It's part of the process. If applicants do not fulfill these requirements, it's really hard to then help them allow them to continue the process. But these are like standard and very easy to meet conditions. The remaining part is really to be bold, creative, and present the ideas in line with the award criteria. In terms of the type of projects, we are looking for projects in the 3 topics, and I just invite to check what is expected in the website of the project in LiveMX.eu, where you can find these details on export, live music venues, and music and digital strand. Because there, and also if the podcast is launched in time, to participate in the sessions we're having to describe the different topics, and if not, they will made available online. So it's just to see them and check if the project idea the potential applicant has is in line with what is asked.
Perfect. Thank you, Sara. So audience, as you heard, please check livemx.eu and check the guidelines. Don't be scared to read them and apply, because it's quite easy to do so. And they'll have lots of resources to have the information clear. So check it out. All right, let's move on to, let's say, transforming the music sector in Europe. So Sara, to what extent do you think that LiveMX it's actually impacting or influencing the actual European music industry?
It's influencing in the capacity that the budget available allows. We need to be transparent here and realistic, because the LiveMX has 4 million to be redistributed. This is really important, and it's important to show the need that the sector has. Normally, as we saw in the previous program, here in LiveMX, we're seeing it again, that we have a lot of applications that echo the need of the industry or the sector to have this kind of support. As you said, it's hard to find opportunities specifically targeting music, the music sector, or even cultural sector, if we want to be more bold in terms of this sentence. But the idea is that it's not easy to find, and the Music Moves Europe program, with this kind of support, specifically LiveMX project, have a good contribution through this funding scheme and the capacity building component as well. So it helps directly the sector. The sector is eager and needs to receive this support, and through the project, it's possible to create a momentum of transformation. So through the 3 open calls, through the more than 60 projects that we aim to support, and with this budget, we believe that we can start a transformation that not only resulting in tangible outcomes of the projects implemented, but that's at the same time by creating this capacity of these beneficiaries to then be more prepared to find new opportunities for funding and to continue their projects.
How do the digital solutions, right, through LiveMX in the last open calls, how have they supported sustainable growth somehow?
Okay, yeah, for that I would say that is the better way is to give some examples. So we have the two calls open. We supported 4 projects in the first call. 4 new projects are now starting from the second call. So the 8 linked to digital component. In the first call, we had a project that is audience music growth, which is aimed to explore the e-tools and digital services powered by smart data and artificial intelligence, and how this can help to reach new markets. So it's connecting the digital with, for instance, the export. Then another very different and very interesting as well project is enhancing gender equality in European music tech. In this project intends to harness the power of the technology and digital skills to enhance quality and elevate the presence and success of underrepresented groups. So it's really important for the inclusive component of transition that is necessary. There is a third project within the first call that is Green Touring Tool. So using a tool that already exists, the project aims to make national and international touring more easy and sustainable for programmers and more beneficial for artists, which this aim is very important as well. And then we have innovation mapping for the European music sector, a project that aims to present a mapping and solutions that leverage the transformative potential of artificial intelligence. Again, I would invite those interested in finding more about this project and not only the digital component, but export and venues in the project website, where we have a full list of the supported initiatives and a brief summary with the contacts of these beneficiaries. So it's good that if you find some similarities or want to find more, to contact them. And look, I'm really interested in your project, and I would like to do something in line with that, or that could build on that. Let's talk. And this is really the aim of it's part of the aim of the project LiveMX, to build this kind of collaborations.
Have you been able to measure the impact of the last open calls, solutions that have appeared, and have you developed some kind of methodology to measure this impact, or are you doing it?
So for this project in specific, the way we measure the outcomes or success are highly connected with the design of the project. Each project, because we have 3 topics, 3 strands, and different players from all around Europe. We are trying to measure success first at the level of the projects, if projects were successfully complete. So they start by designing their idea and their work plan and how they implement it. We try, of course, to be flexible because we understand the needs of the sector, and this is the lump sum approach. So we want them to succeed, but this is one of the advantages of the cascade, that is to understand what happened and keeping a close connection with the project, and allowing the project to evolve, of course, not substantially. This is mandatory. We cannot change completely a project. But if something needs to be adjusted and is explained, then we facilitate this in terms of the implementation, as far as the final goals are not jeopardized. But in the end, the successful implementation will need to be aligned in terms of aligned with the initial project or the adjustments agreed. We will need to see these tangible results in terms of the audience's engagement, and more concrete examples on solutions and practices adopted, and so on. In terms of then the LiveMX, success is really to understand how it was how the awareness created in terms of number of applicants, for instance, and this is a good reflection of the need of the sector. Number of applicants, number of projects implemented, the funded, redistributed, the number of sessions we are doing. There are so many different fairs and conferences and moments where it's possible to connect with the sector. We have been supported a lot by the desks of the Creative Europe program.
Okay.
They are really a good help here in making the calls announced and more visible to everyone. And sometimes we are invited for this info session. So to make sure everyone is aware, and this is it's so good to have this chance to be here with you today, because it helps this intention to make sure everyone is aware of the opportunities the project offers. At the end, I'm expecting to see something as we saw, for instance, in the closing of the Music Air project, which was really recompensating. It's not the word, but so. At that time, we felt our hearts full because we were in the closing conference with the participants of this similar funded projects, and they were just saying this was really important for us. This was a turning point. Now we can do this and that, and I think this is going to happen again. And this is how we measure the importance of this project and the impact it has in these organizations, in these individuals' organizations, and in the sector. Let's hope we find a way to make it more visible to everyone that this kind of effects are generated by this initiative.
You introduced, could you give us a sneak peek of any upcoming stages or initiatives or even events that you may be organizing to showcase perhaps the solutions that were funded and so on?
Yeah, we are now trying something new here with the third open call, the idea of having a matchmaking platform. So it's going to evolve. It's hard now to say how it will be open to everyone because it's being designed for the selected projects, the beneficiaries being supported. But it's good to have this discussion and understanding if we cannot really open up a bit and make sure that it's possible to have this kind of matchmaking to other players that are not yet supported by the project. So I think we're going to have news soon in our social media and our website about this. And for now, we're focused on the third call and making sure that we can reach out to specifically projects that are from digital, because we see that most of the applicants are from export and live venues. And for digital, what is asked is that digital projects somehow connect with the needs of or contribute to address the needs of export and live venues. But we're looking with a special eye, let's say, to these projects, and at the same time, for the strands, we understand that the sector is in need, and the strands, even if they have these different sizes, the biggest one is 60K, which of course allows only for a small scale project. Is not we're talking about big investments, but the most applications are targeting this 60K strand. So if we can see applicants trying the other strands, more projects could be supported, and this is something we will have again a special eye and attention during the third call.
So we'll keep an eye on those updates. So you have to follow, all the partners and the page on social media so you won't miss anything. All right, Sara, and what advice could you give to innovators or legal entities being interested on this initiative, or in general, would you give an advice to encourage innovators to apply to Cascade funding opportunities?
Yeah, definitely. From our experience, from what we do and from our experience with other fundings, Cascade fundings we see, we understand that this type of format funding offers flexibility, simplified frameworks. So it's easy to piloting your ideas and solutions. And this is something that you cannot find in other more structured and centralized programs. And the Commission is including this specific budget line in several calls. Let's say, for instance, in case of the LiveMX, INOVA coordinated a proposal together with LiveDMA and EME in addressing this call. This call included financial support for third parties, and the Commission is inside the programs, the more common programs, Erasmus, Horizon, Creative Europe, is introducing this cascade line, creating these new opportunities for different sectors and different topics to be addressed through financial support to third parties. So again, just keep an eye. I would say now Explorer has the hub with the opportunities for Cascade. You can see the EU funding and tenders portal, which is regularly updated with these announcements. And for sure, we will find new opportunities to test your ideas and solutions.
Yeah, thank you, Sara, for that. All right, so let's move on to the last section of the podcast. So before we wrap up the episode, there's this bit of a fair game. So let me tell you the instructions. First off, you'll have to answer a question from the previous guest. And then, you would have the ball in your hands, and you could be the one just posing a question for the next guest. You have the room to give us a fun fact about yourself, about your life, about the project, whatever you desire. And then, if you wish, another piece of advice for our audience. All right?
All right, I'm ready.
If you're ready, let's get started. Right. So your question comes from Raquel Carro. So she's a project manager from Australia, and she was with us talking about Cortex Square, another European Union initiative. And so she asks, in the world of Cascade funding, where do you think the biggest opportunities will be in 2025? Or in which technology or area do you think Cascade funding will have the most impact? It's a bit long, but if you want,
yeah, it's long and could have different answers depending on what our field of work. But I would say that as I started by saying that there are so many opportunities with Cascade funds for different sectors and topics that is difficult, but they will be aligned for sure with the Commission priorities. And we see a lot on greening and sustainability, digital, deep tech. So maybe if I would say some keywords, this would be the keywords to be mentioned, but it's really difficult because this is a line of opportunity that is open to everything. Tourism, creative industries, social economy, even life program, I was just recalling now, more linked to environmental opportunities. So it's difficult to say that there is a sector that is not open to this. So this are good news, I would say.
Yeah, I totally agree. And honestly, the bigger the opportunities, the better. Because perhaps if we narrow it there's we would have a lack of like applicants, a lack of programs being developed. So yeah, let's hope that this keep growing. Right. So do you have any fun facts or advice for us?
Fun fact. So I was fun fact. It's not easy. I was just doing this sneak peek that I mentioned. So the next Music Moves Europe call or is to be open by the end of this year. I think it's not fun, but it's important. And it will allow for the continuation of these opportunities of cascade funding within the program, the Music Moves Europe initiative, and the music sector. So it's really important to highlight this as the commitment of the Commission to the continuation of the music year, LiveMX, and something new that will come later. That is important, of course, because the LiveMX has its duration. It is going to support the 60 projects with this more than 4 million, and then it will end. So it's good to know that it somehow will continue. That doesn't mean that it's going to be us leading the process. We hope so. Let's see. But of course, other players can win this time. I think this is not the most important who is leading the project. The important part is that there is a continuation of these funding opportunities for the sector.
Yeah, it's good that this current, we are still in the same wavelength, and Music Moves Europe wants to, open new pathways to everyone. Yeah. That's good. Right? So then do you have another advice for us, or would you like to close it here?
I would say that the advice is just to keep trying, because with these new frameworks that are more flexible, simplified, I think it's possible for you, even if you don't have a lot of experience, to find a way and be successful in an application to a specific funding opportunity. And I'm just thinking, Paula, I still need to launch the ball, as you said, or drop the ball to my colleague the next interview before closing. So I need to find a good question to be answered. Because I was always emphasizing in this conversation the advantages of the cascading, and I would just ask my colleague in the next interview to talk a bit about the worst experience with cascading grant. What was the worst experience? Because sometimes, of course, this system is new and is evolving, so there is room for improvement, and we can learn with a failure. And worst experience are good to give good hints to evolve.
Yeah, that's good. This would have been fun if we did it back in Halloween, but definitely we can all learn from our mistakes, and it's good that there's people, not failing, but learning from obstacles that could appear on these cascade funding stories, right?
Yeah. I think it's not an answer difficult to give, because of course this has the simplified version, for instance, for applicants. But if we see it from the point of view of a project manager, is something different, because you need to learn the tricks, let's say, of the cascade, and of course the regulations. I'm just putting light, but if we understand what are some limits, because cascade, for instance, a hint is it's not the same if we talk about cascading grants in lump sum or, for instance, actual costs. This would already lead us to better and worse experience immediately. But yeah, so this is my question.
Perfect. Let's hope that the next guest it's also well aware of what cascade funding is. Otherwise, we can just save it for a project coordinator, project manager. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
we'll
Thank
see
you.
in future episodes. All right, Sara. So thank you very much for having offered this time with us, with you, and that you could share all the details about LiveMX, your experience with it. So it's been great. Thank you. It's been a
It was a
pleasure.
pleasure. Yes. Thank you.
All right, so this brings us to the end of the episode. So it's been wonderful. Thank you as well, audience, for staying up until the very end. And make sure to subscribe to all of our platforms, which are, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon. You can stream the episode everywhere. And don't forget that each Thursday you're gonna have an episode straight in your inbox, for your page, whatever. But let's keep exploring the fascinating world of innovation together, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.